system of the heart. We already seen briefly about the cardiac anatomy. The specialized conducting tissues include SA node, internodal branches, AV junction, bundle of His, bundle branches, right bundle branch and left bundle branch, and Purkinje fibers. The SA node is located on the upper portion of the right atrium, junction between the superior vena cava and the right atrium. It's a cluster of cells. So we normally call SA node as the pacemaker of cells. It is supplied by both parasympathetic and sympathetic innervations. Parasympathetic innervations are inhibitory, which we already seen last class, and sympathetic innervations are excitatory. The internodal branches are three types: anterior internodal branch, middle internodal branch, Van-K-Brack's type, and posterior internodal branch or Thorel branch. The anterior internodal branch and middle internodal branch and posterior internodal branch will come back to join at the AV junction. The anterior internodal branch, lateral branch, left branch supplies to the left atrium. Now, all these internodal branches will supply to the atrial musculature. So when these nodal branches, internodal branches, depolarizes, the depolarization will spread into the left atrium and the right atrium. The impulse from this internodal branch, the internodal branches will finally join at the AV junction and cause depolarization of the AV junction. AV junction is a profusely branched cells of different diameters. They are specialized cells located at the endocardial surface of the right side of the intraatrial septum, posterior to the tricuspid wall. Just above the interventricular septum, it is innervated by left vagus nerve. They are cells, it's normally called as AV junction because the cells are of different diameters, and a very important function here is the conduction velocity is slow. So the impulse which is coming from SA node through the ventricle, they are delayed. The important function here is the delay of impulse. The delay is about 0.07 to about 0.1 second delay is correct. This delay is important because it will allow the atrial contraction to be complete before the ventricular contraction begins. It allows proper ventricular filling. It's a very important fact you need to remember. We'll come back to it later also. The AV junction, the velocity of conduction velocity is low, at 0.05 millisecond. So there's a delay of impulse reaching from the atria to the ventricle, so that the atrial contraction is complete before the ventricular contraction begins, so that there is proper ventricular filling. This AV junction delay is delayed by short sympathetic stimulation or lengthened by vagal stimulation. This AV junction is the only pathway through which the impulse reaches from SA node to the ventricles. The impulse from the SA node passes through the internal pathways, reaches the AV junction, then goes to bundle of His, bundle branches, Purkinje fibers, and will reach the ventricles. This is the only pathway through which the normal individual, okay? Normal individual, this is the only pathway. In some individual, additional pathway might be there, which are called as Kemp branches. But it's a congenital condition. But in normal individual, this is the only path because the atrial musculature and the ventricular musculature is separated by a fibrous network. So atrial musculature, which is getting depolarized, the impulse will not go to the ventricles. The only electrical pathway between the atria and ventricle is through this AV junction and bundle of His. Conduction through AV node, you need to remember this fact here because there are certain abnormalities you will see later on in ECG, conduction defects, which you call as conduction defects. We'll talk about it later. Conduction is slowed by vagus nerve, decreases conduction velocity. Digitalis indirectly will reduce conduction. Erythrophonium will inhibit cholinesterase and will affect conduction, slow the conduction. Verapamil is a calcium antagonist, will also slow conduction. Conduction is increased by catecholamines, quinidine, and atropine. Bundle of His is located in the endocardial surface to right side of interatrial septum, superior to interventricular septum. Bundle of His is located to endocardial surface to the right side of interatrial septum, immediately superior to interventricular septum. It will divide into two, right bundle branch and left bundle branch. Right bundle branch will traverse right side of the endocardial surface to the interventricular septum. Right bundle branch will traverse right side of endocardial surface of the interventricular septum. Left bundle branch will also traverse, but they divide further. Left bundle branch will be divided into left anterior fascicle, left posterior fascicle, and left septal fascicle. Will divide to right anterior fascicle and left posterior fascicle. And there will be a septal fascicle also. Septal fascicle will divide and supply to the mid region of the left interseptal region here. It's not there in this graph, but it will be joining here in the interventricular septum here. Left anterior fascicle spreads to the anterior subendocardial surface of the left ventricle. Left posterior septum will supply to posterior endocardial surface of the left ventricle. Septal fascicle will arise from the proximal portion of the left anterior and posterior fascicle and spreads to the left side of interventricular septum. Purkinje fibers, they are large diameter cells, 60 to 80 microns. So our diameter is large. Its conduction velocity will be very high, 4 meters per second. The Purkinje fibers, they will branch out from these bundle branches extensively and cover to the subendocardial surface of both the ventricles. Its main function is to supply rapidly to every part of the ventricles, conduct impulse rapidly to every part of the ventricles. As its conduction velocity is very high, 4 meters per second, it will rapidly conduct impulses to all the regions of the ventricles. So we'll just look quickly the path it takes. The impulses generated at the SA node will be conducted through the internal pathway, will come to the AV junction. It will also cause depolarization of the atrial musculature. The impulse from the AV junction will pass through bundle of His to bundle branches. At the AV junction, an important thing occurs here is the impulses are delayed. So it will reach the bundle office in about 0.1 second. In the meantime, it will cause depolarization of the atria. The delay at AV junction is about 0.07 to 0.1 second. This will allow the atrial musculature, atrial contraction to be complete before ventricular contraction begins. If there is no delay here, what will happen is the impulse will rapidly be conducted to the ventricular and the ventricles will go into contraction. The ventricle goes into contraction, this valve will close. So ventricular filling will not be complete. So contraction will not be effective. So the delay allows the ventricular contraction to be complete for proper filling of the ventricles. You see, when your teacher teaches you cardiac cycle, there they will tell you the different phases. There will be a passive filling phase and a rapid filling phase and an active filling occurring. When this valve opens, the blood which has entered into the atria will all fill into the ventricle. So about 70% of the filling will occur, but still 30% of the blood will be there in the atrium. This will enter into the ventricles only when the contraction occurs. So proper complete filling will occur when the contraction occurs. Okay. Now, when the SA node is depolarizes, the impulse will spread through the internode branches to the atrial musculature. Atrial musculature will depolarize. The impulse flushes to AV junction. AV junction, it slows. The impulse will pass through bundle of bundle branches through Purkinje fibers, causing the ventricular muscles to get depolarized. Look at the conduction velocities. Those which are marked in red, you need to remember. SA node conduction velocity is about 0.05 meter per second. At the AV node, there's a delay of 0.05 to 0.7 second. Conduction velocity is around 0.05. Purkinje fibers has a conduction velocity about 4 meter per second. Diameter is about 70 to 80. The impulse generation, I told you in last class, SA node, AV node, Purkinje fiber, they all can generate impulses. SA node impulses is 70 to 80 per second. AV nodal rate is 40 to 60. Then Purkinje fibers 20 to 40. This we have already seen last class. Cardiac muscle action potential, the Plato phase, the contractile event. This is an electrical event. The red one is electrical event. This is a mechanical event. The mechanical event always follows the electrical event. In case of heart, because of the influx of calcium ions, excitation, contraction, coupling is occurring. The mechanical event starts with the electrical event. By the end of the observed refractory period, 70% of contraction is complete. So the influx of calcium ions resulted in excitation, contraction, coupling, long refractory period, and it also prevents tetany of cardiac muscle. The Plato phase is due to influx of calcium ions. The different, in case of cardiac muscle, the action potential forms are different. SA node we have seen last class, and also atrial musculature, ventricular musculature. Similarly, AV junction and Purkinje fibers. The autogenicity we have seen last class is property later in class. The rate of depolarization of autonomic slope determines the frequency of cardiac impulses. Last class we have seen how the slope of that pacemaker action potential will determine the rate. The inherent rate of SA node is much higher than the normal pacemaker rate, which we call it, because SA node is supplied by it has a normal vagal tone. He is keeping this rate at 70 to 80. The inherent rate will be around 110 to 120. If AV junction can also act as a potential pacemaker, when suppose, for example, if there is normally when the heart is contracting at the rate of SA node, the rhythm we call it as sinus rhythm. If there's an exit block, or there's a block before the AV junction, and the impulses are not reaching the ventricle, the AV junction can act as a pacemaker. So, and the ventricles can start contracting at the rate of AV node. So then the rhythm is called as a nodal rhythm. So they can act as a potential pacemakers. They can take over the heart. We'll talk about it more later on when we look at the ECG. And if Purkinje fibers generates a rhythm, it's called as idioventricular rhythm. When the heart is contracting at the rate of SA node, it's called as sinus rhythm. When it's contracting at the rate of AV junction, and AV junction acts as a pacemaker, that's called as a nodal rhythm. If Purkinje fibers initiates impulses and ventricles are contracting at its rate, it is called as a idioventricular rhythm. There are times when anywhere in the musculature, atrial musculature or ventricular musculature, there is an irritable focus in the musculature which can generate impulses, and if that impulse initiates a contraction, then that ectopic rhythm can result in a premature ectopic beat, premature ventricular contraction. It can result in. Now, there are times when there's an exit block and the SA nodal rhythm is not reaching the AV node, or there's a block in between, and AV junction has to generate the rhythm. So normally this the node, say AV node, will take some time to generate the impulses, because the AV nodal rhythm is lower than the SA nodal rhythm. AV junction rhythm is, AV junction's rate is much lower than the SA node rate. Now, if the AV node has to start generating impulses, till now AV node has been generating impulses. The impulse has been conducting at a much faster rate. So it takes few seconds to start generating the impulse. So it is because this AV junction has been generating at a much higher rate. So it has to overcome an overdrive suppression. It has been driven at a much faster rate. So it's called as overdrive suppression. the ventricles will not be contracted. So during that period, the patient might experience fainting spells till the nodal rhythm starts generating the impulses. Now this figure, it's a very old figure. In recent books, you might get the same figure as a color picture. Now this gives you the time duration from SNOD input generation, reaches AV junction. The bundle of what is the duration of reaching. So that's almost a delay of 0.04 to 0.07 to 0.1 second delay is occurring. During this time, the ventricular depolarization is completed. Ventricular contraction will be over in about 0.1 second. The impulse is rapidly conducted to the whole of the right ventricles and left ventricles in about 0.22 to 0.21 seconds. The ventricular muscle contraction will occur in about 0.3 seconds. If you look at this, this is actually the different action potential graphs and its correlation with the ECG. When the ventricles are getting depolarized, you have P wave. Sorry, atrials are getting depolarized, you have P wave. When the ventricles are getting depolarized, you have QRS complex. And this is the repolarization, you come to repolarization wave. So the sequence of events of, now we will come into how ECG is generated. The next half of our lecture. As the atria gets depolarized, this whole atrial depolarization is taking place. You have P-wave complex. The ventricles are getting depolarized. There's a QRS complex. This is a T-wave complex, which is for the ventricular repolarization. Now, if you have to define an electrocardiogram, electrocardiogram is a graphical representation of, graphical representation means it will have two axes, voltage and time. The voltage time representation of an electrical activity of heart during a single cardiac cycle. One single cardiac cycle, this is one single cardiac cycle, the graphical representation of heart during a single cardiac cycle. This is electrical activity. ECG is representing the electrical events, not the mechanical events. The cardiac cycle will represent the mechanical event. It's a graphical representation of the electrical activity of heart during a single cardiac cycle. P wave correspond to atrial depolarization, QRS complex correspond to ventricular depolarization, and T wave correspond to ventricular repolarization. Now, heart is, if you consider as a dipole and generator, it generates an electrical activity. Body is a volume conductor with body fluids. So if you place electrodes in the body, in the external regions of the body, you can record that electrical activity. So what you have is an electrocardiograph machine which records the potential difference between two electrodes. If there are two electrodes, it measures the potential difference between two electrodes. Electrical activity can be recorded. The body is a volume conductor. Let's brief history is worth knowing. Ludwig and Waller discovered that heart has a rhythm which could be monitored from a person's skin. William Interton is the one who invented the ECG machine. This is his ECG machine. William Interton is the machine. This huge electrocardiograph machine which he invented. Thomas Lewis promoted the clinical application of ECG, so he is considered the father of cardiac electrophysiology. Now, if you look at this machine here of William Interton, he has put his two limbs, right arm and left arm, into a bucket of electrolytes and left leg into the bucket. So this represents electrodes. And he said he had given a lead system. What we still use the same lead system, the standard limb lead systems. Lead 1, lead 2, and lead 3. I'll tell you what they are. Just remember this. The first ECG leads were lead 1, lead 2, lead 3. This is a lead 2, this is lead 3, and lead 1. I'll explain to you later. He recorded the first ECG in 1902. William Interton was a Dutch physician. So first we look at what the equipment has, and then we'll look at, understand what its terminologies are. We'll look at in detail later on. So the electrodes, there are 4 electrodes. They are called as limb electrodes. They are not leads, so they are electrodes. They are connected to right arm, right leg, left leg. Okay. The right leg is the ground of the individual. Just remember this. These are electrodes, right arm. They are not leads. So here we have used the term leads. Lead 1, 2, and 3. I'll tell you what later on what these leads mean. These are electrodes. Connect to right arm, right leg, and left leg. Right leg is the ground of the individual. They are flat metallic electrodes. You see in ECG, there are 2 different types of electrodes used. Flat metallic limb electrodes connected to the limbs, and cup-like electrodes which are placed on the chest. Small inverted cup-like electrodes, they are placed at different locations on the chest. They will correspond to the chest leads. We'll come to this chest lead level. There are 6 electrodes which are placed on the chest. Cup-like electrodes which are placed on the chest. I'll tell you its locations later on. Let's say they are V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. I'll tell you the locations later on. So these electrodes are placed at different locations. I'll come to this slide later. Just leave it. Then you have an ECG amplifier and recorder. The recorder, then you have a chart paper, which is a thermal sensitive paper. The thermal sensitive paper, where in this amplifier and recorder, there is a nib, a kind of stylus, which gets heated. So when the paper moves on, the stylus touches the paper, you'll get a recording. In the stylus, the nib will move up and down depending upon the potential which is recorded. So as it moves up and down, the chart paper will have a recording. Then you have something called as an electrolyte jelly. This electrolyte jelly is applied before you plate the electrode. This jelly, the function of the jelly is to decrease the skin resistance. Okay. The chart speed which is selected is 25 millimeter per second. Chart speed selected is 25 millimeter per second. Remember this, all this, what I'm telling you. Time is the horizontal axis. The amplitude will be the vertical axis. Amplitude is vertical axis. So normally, when we calibrate the instrument, we give 1 milliwatt signal. 1 milliwatt signal, it should give us a 10 millimeter deflection. These are 1 millimeter squares. Is 1 millimeter squares. This movement is 10 millimeters. Large squares are 5 millimeter squares. Smaller square is 1 millimeter square. This square is 5 millimeter square. And this large square is 10 millimeter squares. The charge speed is 25 millimeters per second. Okay. So each small square of 1 millimeter will correspond to 0.04 seconds in the horizontal axis. In the vertical axis, as calibration is 1 millimeter per 10 millimeter deflection, means this 10 millimeter corresponds to 1 millivolt. This 10 millimeter will correspond to 1 millivolt. Each small square in vertical axis will correspond to 0.1 millivolts. Clear? 10 millimeter in the vertical axis correspond to 1 millivolt. 0.1 millivolt is each small square in the vertical axis. So you have horizontal axis and vertical axis. Horizontal axis is time, vertical axis is the voltage. So if you look at the normal ECG, you have waves, P wave, QRS complex, T wave, U wave will later. So in a normal ECG, what do you have? You have waves, you have durations, you have intervals. Then, what do you see here? Each 10 millimeter in vertical axis is 1 millivolt. Each small 1 millimeter deflection, the vertical axis is 0.1 millivolt. Okay. Now the charge speed is 25 millimeter per second. Charge speed is 25 millimeter per second. So what it means is each 5 millimeter square will correspond to 0.2 seconds or 200 milliseconds. Each 1 millimeter square in the horizontal axis will correspond to 0.4 seconds or 40 milliseconds. Okay? This is about the technical aspect which you need to remember, because you will need to know what is the duration of PR interval, what is the duration of E wave, what is the duration of QRS complex, what is QT, duration of QT interval, what is the heart rate, you need to calculate the heart rate. So all those things you need to know this. So you will be doing practicals of it, you will be measuring them and determining the heart rate, determine the PR interval, finding out what is the voltages, finding out the axes. So you need to remember this. So P wave corresponds. Now coming to another aspect. In ECG, what are the things which you will be looking at? You have P waves, you have waves, you have durations, and you have intervals. P wave, QRS complex, T wave, and U wave. Intervals are PR interval, QRS duration, QT interval, and there's something called as RR interval. Next class, I'll bring another diagram that I'll show you other intervals also. Okay. In a normal clinical ECG, 12 leads are used. 3 standard bipolar limb leads, lead 1, 2, 3. 3 augmented leads. I'll tell you in detail about each of the leads. Just we are in this next 3 slides. I'm just summarizing certain things briefly. In detail, we'll look at it in the future classes which we are coming to. In normal clinical ECG, when ECG is recorded, there are 12 leads, 3 standard bipolar limb leads. Please note, these are leads. These are not electrodes. Like right arm, left leg, they were electrodes. 3 augmented leads, AVR, AVL, AVF. 6 unipolar chest leads, 3-quarter leads, V1, V2. Okay, these are leads. So normal clinical ECG, 12 leads are there. In this, 6 are limb leads and 6 are chest leads. The limb leads are 3 standard bipolar limb leads, lead 1, 2, 3. 3 augmented leads, AVR, AVL, AVF, and 6 unipolar chest leads, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, and V6. What is the importance of ECG? ECG is an indirect tool. It is essential to the diagnostic tool to understand certain abnormalities. You can know about abnormalities of rhythm, arrhythmias, conduction defects, myocardial ischemia and infarction, ventricular hypertrophy, abnormalities due to changes in serum electrolytes. There are 5 major abnormalities. We will be looking at these abnormalities in little detail later on with respect to ECG. Okay. Now, what is the time? It's almost time is up. I will just go back to one slide which I dropped. So, why we need to? You have these different electrodes that are connected. ECG. Now, briefly, let me tell you what a lead means. A lead records a difference in potential between 2 points. Okay, recording a difference in potential between 2 points. That is a lead. Take for example, difference in potential between right arm and left is one lead. Difference in potential between left arm and left leg is another lead. Difference in potential between left leg and right arm is another lead. You have chest leads located at V1, 2, 3, V6, V1 to V6. Now, why you need to connect all these leads? Now, what is the definition of ECG? ECG how do you define ECG? It's a graphical representation of electrical activity of heart during a single cardiac cycle. Graphical representation of electrical activity of heart during a single cardiac cycle. Now, heart is a 3-dimensional structure. And if you look at it, the impulse generated SA node move towards the AV junction and towards the apex of the heart. Electrical activity is spreading in a 3-dimensional way. So the electrical activity is spreading in a 3-dimensional way. But electrodes are connected at different locations. Different leads are there. And it has to look at this 3-dimensional activity. Okay. So just look, each of the lead is looking at this 3-dimensional activity from its point of view. We'll come to this slide again in the next class when I talk to you about how the electrical activity is spreading, and then we'll look at it. I think I'll stop here. It's enough. So today what we are seeing is the impulses generated as synode conducted through internal branches, causing depolarization of the AV junction, and in turn also causing the depolarization of the atrial musculature. At the AV junction, the impulses are delayed. The delayed impulses move to the bundle of these bundle branches. Purkinje fibers will conduct impulses rapidly to the ventricles, causing depolarization of the ventricle. And then we have also seen briefly about the more defined ECG. They look only at the outer, what are the normal ECG waves and intervals. We look at more detail about its each wave, what is its importance, what is the duration, what is its voltages, normal, what the instrument consists of, brief history of it, the ECG paper, the chart speed, what is the duration, what is voltage, each millimeter corresponds to how much duration, what is its millimeter correspond to what is the voltage of it. So next class we'll look more on ECG in more detail. Let's stop here. I'll send you the slides today by email. Stop here.